Hello, citizens of the world. This is the Nerd Soup Podcast. I'm joined today by Teddy Mangione and Aaron Benferrato. Today we're talking about the Han Solo movie. We're talking Venom in the MCU. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know you can download this podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. The links are in the link. Had it until that, huh?
You were cruising.
The links are down below. Aaron, how you doing today?
No, I can't complain. Doing all right. How about you?
Always has to open it with like an awkward pause.
I wasn't expecting that.
I thought you thought I was
playing
gonna
with this. Playing with this tape.
Yeah, put the tape down.
Okay.
Ted, how are you doing today?
You can put it
I'm
right
doing
here.
swell.
Just got back from your landscaping job.
Yeah,
You
you can't
deserve
tell?
that hat.
Just got back from a safari from Africa.
No, from work.
That is a great hat, though.
You like it?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Found it. It was like buried in my crawl space.
Okay.
I washed it.
You just want to take over from here, Ted? You just
Want me to?
talk about your hat. So, Aaron, what
Pretty good episode.
are we talking about first today?
I think we should just dive
Venom?
into. Wait, no, he said Aaron, right? Not Teddy.
Aaron.
Okay. Unbelievable. I think we'll start off with the Han Solo. I think that's the biggest. I think the biggest news is the Han Solo,
Yeah, that was weird.
because now they pushed it back to December, right?
Did they?
I think so.
I don't think that's official.
Really?
Last thing I read that Ron Howard was brought on to direct. Well, the news is that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the directors of the 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, the Lego movie, have left the Han Solo film 5 months into shooting. It's like a week away from wrapping, and then they got the boot. So
Did they get the boot, or were they forced out, or did they leave on their own
They
accord?
were fired. They were fired by Kathleen Kennedy, president
Really?
of Lucasfilm. Yeah.
I was just reading the article I was telling you about. That it did get pushed back to December 13th.
Oh, it did get pushed back?
That's what I was just reading.
Well, Star Wars has been staking their claim in December with the previous two movies, and they've done well. You know, Force Awakens, third highest grossing movie of all time. Rogue One, $1 billion. So,
Well, I mean,
Do you actually think that it's the time, or it's just the Star Wars fans that they just keep delaying it, and then
it's the brand, and it's also that no good movies come out in January, so they get the whole month to themselves, where people just keep going back and going back. And
like you?
Yeah,
How many times
yeah.
will you see this movie?
The new one?
in theaters?
I'm gonna see it twice opening night and probably once every day for like the next week that it's out.
what, episode 8, right?
Episode 8, yeah.
Okay.
Probably
There's
gonna
more-
get that ticket where you get like unlimited views. It's like $100.
We need a movie hop. Time it out, right? Just go from theater to theater.
That's illegal, Ted.
Yeah, I'm not a criminal.
It's not that big of a
Crime.
Yeah.
I actually did that for La La Land.
Yeah, tell that to Lucasfilms.
Yeah, to all the hardworking people that put in their hours.
We're not talking about like the big stars. Talking about the cameramen, the editors. You know,
the extras,
Those guys get paid by the views.
the guys
Probably.
wearing the Chewbacca suit. Come on, man.
yeah.
Speaking of Chewie.
Best Chewbacca impression. All
All
right, let's move on to, so,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
definitely-
so it is being pushed back.
Definitely not
Yeah.
a good sign though. They probably saw it and they're like, wow, this sucks. We need to do something drastic.
Well,
Like,
it's a weird choice because these guys are known for comedies. They brought back the 21 Jump Street franchise. They did the Lego movie. If you were going to make a Han Solo movie and you hire these directors, you know what you're going to get. So the thing is that they were upset that the movie became so slapsticky that it was basically Han Solo the comedy.
they probably try to do like a Guardians feel to it.
Right, exactly. And that's not Han Solo. Han Solo is funny in the original movies. He's the comic relief, but he's not like Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's very natural.
Yeah, he's very, I think, more charismatic and clever with his comedy. That's not really forced. So I think
No.
they probably try to make it like a
Han
little
Solo
campy.
is almost like the human perspective in Star Wars. Like, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
This is all so...
Better be
me
a
or
good
you?
update.
Is that me or you? Yankees lost. But
Yeah.
Aaron Judge had a home run.
Was he at 26?
Yeah, he's got 26. We'll save that for generation gap. It's just a weird choice to get these directors for this type of movie. If you know their style and you know what you're going to get, you can't complain a week away from wrapping, this is not the movie we wanted. Why did you hire them?
Is this going to be part of the Star Wars like storyline, or is this just like a prequel for Han Solo?
It's like the Rogue
You know what
One.
I mean?
It's like Rogue One area. I feel like in between 3 and 4. I guess you got some more backstory and how he became. Like they said, like they're gonna show how he got the Millennium Falcon and things like that.
Yeah.
Stuff that nobody cares about.
It really doesn't have to be made. I said that with Rogue One, but Rogue One was decent enough where I don't mind it. This sounds like they're just making a movie to make money, and it's all gonna suck as well. So
Well, I mean...
hopefully it doesn't.
To fire your directors a week away from wrapping production, that's unprecedented.
Yeah.
And to bring on somebody like Ron Howard, who is in complete contrast to Lord and Miller, Ron Howard is like the safest choice they could have made.
So they're trying to like Is this like them saying that we're gonna try and redo some stuff?
It looks
pretty
like
much?
they're going to redo the
Like-
whole thing.
They do
Yeah.
some reshoots and
But I mean, if you're pushing it back now 7 months, it looks like they're going to have to redo the whole movie. And how much money is that going to cost them? Apparently, they've filmed an entire movie.
If this didn't
So-
get pushed back, when was it coming out?
May. It's coming out May next year, 2018.
not that far off. So they really waited. Usually you would
They
expect
screwed
like
them.
a trailer for a May movie probably around the release of episode.
Well, they were saying D23. It's like the Disney convention
Yeah,
that they would have a trailer.
I'd say around the release of episode 8, right? But now,
But then you have to think about now is what movie are we going to get? Are they going to use any of the footage that they already filmed?
you can't just change the whole movie like the whole tone of the movie. It just won't fit. It'll just be sloppy. So I think you have if
They're
you're
gonna
getting a
have
new,
to redo the whole thing.
So you think, yeah, they're going to have to redo the whole
it's like
thing.
even with like the DC with Whedon coming in for Snyder. I mean, it's not that much of a
Right, it looks
complete
like
overall.
that's still going to be Snyder's movie.
Yeah, he's just doing like some finishing touches. For this, it sounds like they're trying to change the whole movie.
Right.
Did
So-
these actors work with these directors before? Like, is this just like a whole new?
No, these are everybody that's on this movie has never worked together.
Wow,
So, I mean, you got this kid Alden Ehrenreich.
he's the Han Solo, right?
Yeah, he's Han Solo. He was in Hail Caesar. He's been in a couple other movies. He's fairly new. You know, he's not a household name. Amelia Clarke from Game of Thrones.
Is there any household names out there? I guess besides.
Amelia Clarke is
Donald
what-
Glover, Emilia
Donald
Clarke.
Right.
Well, actually, I thought I
Donald
saw Woody
Glover as
Harrelson
Lando.
too. Isn't he?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, yeah.
Speaking of Woody, Planet of the Apes. Can't wait.
Oh, wow. Early reactions
Looks
to that are they're saying it's really good.
It looks
Best
really good.
movie of the summer.
I mean, when's it gonna stop?
What?
How
Yeah,
many?
it's-
How many are they gonna make?
It's like a weird franchise that they keep going back to it.
Next thing you know, it's gonna be.
It's just going to be apes ruling the world, like the politics. Like just apes.
House of Cards.
Yeah, right. I think Caesar's going to bite the bullet in this one, though. I think it's going to be like the real Caesar, where all his apes are going to turn on him.
Yeah, but Caesar is part of the humans, right?
For the watch.
Isn't Caesar part of the humans? The human?
No, Caesar is the leader of the apes.
Oh, is he?
Have you seen the other ones?
Yeah, I have. I thought Caesar was the
James
the
Franco's
good-
boy.
Yeah, that's why I thought that.
Yeah.
Oh, back to Han Solo. No, but the early reactions for Planet of the Apes were good, so that's exciting. It could go down as one of the best movie trilogies of all time. You know, you've seen all of them, right?
Yeah, they're really good. They're very
Yeah.
underrated.
The second one I thought was the best with Koba, one of the best villains.
I love it's a very underrated trilogy. I feel like people go to see it, but they don't like put it into like the standard of
Best
like,
trilogy of all time. What are you saying?
Dark Knight.
Yeah,
I just came to my mind. No,
I'd say Toy Story.
no, it's Lord of the Rings. By
yeah.
far.
Yeah, it's probably Lord of the Rings.
I was just thinking Dark Knight because I was thinking of like underrated trilogies, but in the Dark Knight, like Batman Begins gets so underrated as well. That's
Right,
why-
but Dark Knight Rises, you can't
I honestly
compete
can't
with
even
Lord of
think
the
of one.
Rings at that point. You can't compare Dark Knight Rises to Return of the King. Return of the King.
oh
is
no,
a
Lord of
far
the Rings is so much better.
Yeah, it's a far superior. But I would say Twin Towers and Dark Knight is closer. I would probably give the edge to the Dark Knight, but Fellowship is better than Batman Begins.
Yeah.
I wish I could think of one. Or I'd say one.
Any trilogy.
Godfather is up there just because the first two are so great.
The third doesn't really. It falls off, but it's still.
I
Like,
hate the third.
I agree with the Toy Story.
compared to the first two. It's just.
I'd say Toy Story is better than the Batman trilogy.
I would put
Relax.
Toy Story 1. So
I love the Toy Story trilogy is awesome.
I cried in the third one.
Oh man, when they
When
were
they're
all
going
in
to
the
that pit?
yeah,
You kidding me? They
were
all
about
held
to be
hands like that?
incinerated. Yeah, are you kidding? That was so sad.
Who saved the day on that one? Oh, the claw, right?
Yeah, the claw.
No original trilogy.
Oh, Star Wars is up there. Spider-Man, I guess, because the first two are really good.
Can you put Harry Potter in there?
No, because
It's 8 films.
I know, but can you put can you string three of them together? Like 1, 2, and 3?
Sure, Dad.
Yeah,
Oh,
fine. Yeah, original Star Trek. That's not really a trilogy. They go 2, 3, and 4 is considered the trilogy. So yeah, Han Solo. I'd say
We went back on track and then got back off track again.
This is like a systemic problem with studios these days, where they're not allowing their directors to make a movie. Where if you hire these two directors and let them make their movie, and then you look at it and say, "Oh, this is not what we wanted." Even Warner Brothers came out today and said they're going to stop hiring directors that are auteurists, meaning that they just make the movie that they want to make, where it's going to be meddling from the studio. It's going to be movies by committee. And I think that is a problem. When you look at Batman v Superman, it's the perfect example of a studio interfering with a film and ruining it.
Well, the studio actually loved the film. That's
Right,
the
'cause
movie. That's the
look
movie
what
they
we
wanted.
did.
Yeah.
To them, they're like, wow,
They
that's
directed it.
That's
Yeah.
fine. It's it's good. It has all the characters. They're all fighting. That's fine. That's great. But to the fans, that's when you get that's when sometimes the studios they know what's gonna make money. They know what's gonna be they're not looking at the things we are as
Good
viewers.
movies make the most money. Look at the highest grossing film. They're usually the best of the bunch.
No, the highest grossing films are good enough, but they still have to have a following first. The best movies.
The highest grossing films usually have the biggest following too.
Yeah, but like
You think Force Awakens is making $2 billion if it wasn't that good? If it had like an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, it probably gets like $1.5 billion.
No, I'm not saying that. Like the best movies in that category, like the best movies in general, as far as like Oscar movies, things they usually tend not to make as much money as the bad. Like Transformers is going to blow away the box office no matter what the score is.
But it won't be on an Oscar.
Well, no,
Right,
obviously
well,
not. I'm just saying, like
talking about blockbusters, the best blockbusters usually make the most money. You look at Batman v Superman compared to The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was great. It made $1 billion. Warner Brothers wasn't expecting that.
Well, how much did La La Land make?
La La Land made about like
It made-
$300 million
for
an
film like
Oscar
that.
movie. That was
Yeah.
it was a lot of money. Get
Well,
Out, Jordan Peele's Get Out made like
Even
200.
Suicide
Well,
Squad
that
made
made-
a fucking boatload of
Yeah,
money.
but imagine if Suicide Squad had a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Would've made even
That's a
more.
$1 billion movie.
Well,
Batman v Superman, if that had a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes, that's $1.5 billion easily.
I feel
That's
like
Avengers numbers.
Get Out got so much money because of the Rotten Tomatoes giving it 100.
Yeah,
That made everyone want to see it.
I think it
made me want to see
your
it.
movie being good, I think, affects your box office. Except
Rotten
if you're
Tomatoes affects your
Transformers.
box office.
Well, there's some movies
Yeah.
like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
see 100%, you're gonna obviously go see it. But it also had like the Jordan Peele aspect, like people love him, and it touched on subjects that are kind of relevant to society today. So that kind of drove a lot of people to the theater as well. But I'm not saying that a good movie doesn't get box office. I'm just saying you can have a studio cookie cutter film and it's still gonna make a boatload and play it safe.
Right, and if they would have...
If you have directors taking chances, you risk a lot more than just having. I guess Marvel's a perfect example. They put out safe, good movies. They make a ton of money and they get fairly good ratings.
But the guy running Marvel is a comic book nerd. He's not like these other producers for other studios where they think, oh, we have to make the movie that is safe, that will make money. Kevin Feige knows Marvel. The guy is like the Marvel encyclopedia. Warner Brothers doesn't have that.
Well, Marvel's probably the standard right now for a shared movie
And I think
universe.
you can criticize them for being a little bit formulaic, where it's like another Marvel movie. It's just the same thing that we keep getting. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was the first one that felt outside of the MCU, where it wasn't trying to connect anything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my favorite. But
Yeah, speaking of the MCU, the Venom news coming out. That's
what a transition.
that's pretty good,
That was
right?
smooth.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That
You got to finish it now. You can't just take
Well,
take
you-
in all the compliments.
I'm
blew him.
I'm feeling myself right
You
now.
blew him.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to keep going. I thought he had it.
Well, yeah,
can't-
but
you can't say
kept
something like
talking.
that
I
and
just
just think
compliment the transition.
So anyway,
Each
Venom
chance-
is confirmed in the MCU. Did you see the video with Feige? He was kind
Yeah,
of
that
like,
was so funny.
it's kinda
Did you
like,
see the one with the Curb Your Enthusiasm music?
No, I didn't.
Where it had his face and it's like dun 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 dun, and
you
he's
see
like
that?
looking around.
No, I haven't.
Basically, like one of the. I guess who is she? She's like a
She used to run Sony.
okay.
She used to run their film division. Now she's just a producer.
So Venom wasn't supposed to be in the MCU because Sony and Marvel are like separate, but they joined with Spider-Man. And so
This
they,
happened like 2 years ago, right? Or last year?
yeah, but
2015,
now
yeah.
they were doing a Venom movie that wasn't connected to the Marvel universe at first, but then I guess they're kind of keeping it secret, and then she kind of blew it in front of.
I kind of
Oh.
think she doesn't know what she's talking about.
That could be possible.
I think
too.
she just said it to say it, and Kevin Feige was like, "That's not true," because Venom.
So she blew the beans and
She
not-
blew
not
the
I think
beans.
she blew the beans, but the beans aren't legit.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
They're not real beans. They're just she's just blowing smoke. Really.
Is it confirmed yet?
This is the only confirmation we have, this awkward interview where the two producers, one is from Sony, one is from Marvel, because basically Marvel made this movie, but Sony gets all the money from it. And initially I thought the deal was, we'll put Spider-Man in the MCU and you also get all his villains. You can play with all these characters. Because as of right now, Marvel is the one who just gave Sony Iron Man for their movie. That's Marvel's biggest character. And now Sony's saying, well, you can't have Venom. You can't have all these other characters.
Well, they have some in the Spider-Man movie. They have their own Spider-Man villains as well that they're using with the Marvel. But I think
But I think Vulture is a MCU character.
Wow. So each
Marvel owns Vulture. Sony doesn't even own them.
each character, like each villain from every movie, can be owned by different studios.
Well,
Like is Doc
only in this
is Doc
case.
Ock part of
No,
Marvel?
Only in this case. This is a very This is not the norm.
Because Sony bought Spider-Man before they made the Marvel Universe. So
yeah, they
had
bought
the
Spider-Man
rights.
back in like the 90s. That's why we got the 2002, 2000
So who started the Marvel Universe? What
Disney.
superhero movie? No, like
Iron Man.
Iron Man was a start, and then
No, Hulk.
Iron Man was before Hulk.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the first MCU movie. I forget what studio put it out. It wasn't Disney. Disney bought Marvel after the Hulk, and then that's when they started connecting everything.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I hope they don't botch this though. If it is true, and they better
apparently
show a lot
Sony's-
more Venom.
Sony's Venom, Tom Hardy is starring as Venom. It's supposed to be rated R. It's supposed to be like a horror movie.
That'd be pretty cool.
So I don't know how that connects into the MCU.
Like the last Venom was terrible. I didn't like it.
What?
I forget what was the
symbiote
actor
thing.
who played him.
That 70s show guy?
Yeah, that was not good.
I think you actually saw like Venom's face like twice the entire movie.
He did look scary though.
Well,
I wish
Spider-Man
I would've
3 was
shown
just a
more.
disaster anyway. But I think
The first Spider-Man trilogy.
just the third one.
I kind of like Spider-Man 3.
I like the first
I think
one.
the dancing is just hilarious.
He's walking down the street.
Now
He's
take it
ripping
on
that, though.
He is killing it, yo.
I think, I don't know, why not, if you're Sony, you know, like, your Spider-Man efforts post the original trilogy have been pretty abysmal, so why not ride Marvel and make as much money as you can? Why not add Venom to the universe and you can just build off that? It makes no sense.
It
think
makes
you give him-
absolutely no sense.
I think you give him everyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to be making money off of these movies, why not play ball with the highest grossing franchise of all time? It's like a no-brainer.
Make
But
it even
Sony-
better if you add all the other villains. It makes that movie even like
Well, imagine adding that and like Venom shows up in like Infinity War or something like that.
Right,
That'd be
exactly.
insane.
That's how they're saying that they can introduce Venom because he comes from space, that it can be introduced in Infinity War. That Spider-Man gets combined with the symbiote, and then you have the spin-off.
Well, how
I
can you
think that'd
have
be
Venom
cool.
without Spider-Man? That just doesn't make sense.
It's like making a Joker movie without Batman. Like, here's a Joker
Okay.
movie that takes place in Gotham, but Batman doesn't exist. It's just stupid. It makes no sense.
I mean, I'm all for if you want to make a movie like that doesn't have anything to do with the other characters of the Marvel universe, but you can leave it open to collide and like
I'm thinking you bring in Iron Man to help him.
Iron Man is coming in. That's a big criticism of Spider-Man, that too much Iron Man.
I don't understand that at all. Apparently, the director said he's going to be in like 5 scenes.
It's not that much.
So they're obviously promoting him in the trailer so people go, but you can make a Spider-Man movie without Iron Man and people would still go see it.
But he's the whole reason why Spider-Man is Spider-Man in that movie, because he gives him the suit.
Right, and I think you have to be up to different interpretations of the characters, you know, and their origins and how they come to becoming who they are, except Batman killing.
Well,
That-
like you
that
said-
I will never accept.
Well, like you said, they're trying to promote Iron Man too in that movie. So you see more Iron Man, you want to go see more of the Marvel Universe.
I feel like your voice is getting lower and lower.
I was just about to say that.
like somebody come in and agree
It's
with
like you're turning
me.
the volume down.
No, I had to write through it, but
I'm
I started
making a
talking and
good
then I
point,
forgot the thought.
right, guys?
It's like, wow, that's a good idea. And then like halfway through, you're like, what the hell was I talking about?
Yeah, it's pretty much what happened. And then I was
So
hoping someone
Han
could help me
Solo.
out.
Well, the reactions to Spider-Man so far have been very positive
Really?
by critics. So
I thought it was gonna be like the perfect, like everything you criticize Marvel for, like what they do get criticized. I thought that was all just gonna be in. I think that
In
was
one
like-
movie?
I think that was just gonna be Spider-Man.
well, you said Spider-Man was going to be the most Marvel movie ever.
Yeah. Which
It is the character to do that with.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it can be campy while fitting the story with Spider-Man because it's still a kid. He's still like, you know, it doesn't
It's
have to
part
take
of his
itself
character.
too seriously.
Yeah.
Where if you do that stuff in like Civil War when there's actual real stakes, then it's kind of like, come on.
I saw one reaction where you just hate Civil War, don't you?
No, I really like Civil War.
You
I
hate
just
it so
hate. I
much.
hate like how they're.
I didn't like Civil War.
Was there any jokes in the final fight between Tony Stark and Captain America? There was not one joke.
No, I love that. I
Pretty
like
serious.
Civil War a
It's
lot.
actually really serious.
Yeah.
I was actually going to
Definitely.
mention Captain America trilogy as one of the better trilogies too.
I think First Avenger kind of knocks it down.
I,
Do you like First Avenger?
It's not bad.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I like Wonder Shoulder.
See, I thought First Avenger, Wonder Woman, was what First Avenger should have been. Because Wonder Woman was dark, man. When it gets to the war,
Yeah.
and I felt like First Avenger didn't have that. It's kind of just like a montage of Captain America doing all the cool stuff.
I was just gonna. First Avenger was pretty much Captain America kicking ass
Yeah,
the entire time.
but it was like a montage. Remember that whole scene in the middle where it's just like all the things that he was doing with his crew,
Yeah.
and we didn't get to see any of it.
Yeah.
And
Which
then
is
they
what
just
they
skipped
did.
to Red Skull. But Wonder Woman, we got to see her get in the trenches and go off against the bad guys, which was awesome. Wonder Woman about to pass Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman at the domestic box office.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it again. I don't know. I still like Man of Steel, but
Better than Wonder Woman?
I gotta see it again. I said I want to. Man of Steel was my favorite up until Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman's probably gonna be better, but I just want to see.
So you just say pick a
First,
side.
I want to watch it again. I said you can't judge. People are too reactionary. They see it one time and they rank it, and that's what they do.
You know the rules.
One view.
That's how it is, man. That's today's
One
world.
do you know the rules?
Well, like I was like Batman vs Superman. I thought I liked it a lot more than I did after I watched it again. And at first I'm like, wow, it's like actually like I still like it, but at first I thought it was.
Wait,
better.
you liked it better when you saw it again?
No. The first time I saw it, I obviously thought higher of it than.
Okay.
So what? Wonder Woman?
No, I'm talking about Batman vs Superman.
Oh wow.
When I saw Batman v Superman again, I definitely hated it as much as I hated it the first time.
But
Nothing
wasn't that like
changed.
just too like comical? Like it was
Batman v Superman?
not comical. I'm saying like just
Like a comic book, you mean?
yeah. It was just everything that happened in the comics. Like
It's just
if
a
you didn't
mess.
if you didn't read the comic books, you weren't getting the movie.
No,
That's what I heard.
It's the opposite of that.
Like there was really.
Well, they combined like 5 different stories from the comic books.
But it was just kind of a mess.
It's
Like
just a mess of a movie.
Like,
There's
that Batman's
I think
nowhere in the comics.
I think they just
yeah,
wanted
I never read that Batman.
Batman
Flashpoint,
versus
maybe.
Superman fighting.
Yeah, that was Flashpoint Batman, basically. I was waiting for him to take off his mask and be like, Wayne, Thomas Wayne.
I wonder what his mother's name is. They should like tell you that in a movie.
Batman's mother's name?
Yeah.
I don't
Gloria.
know. Didn't really have a big part in the film.
Yeah. Oh, they could have at least just like had a moment where they just tell it to the audience just so we know, and then we're like, oh, that's cool. Then we can.
Oh,
We can have nerd-
okay.
Isn't that Superman's mom's name too?
Wait a second.
We could have Nerd Soup make it.
Why'd you
Saying
say that, nerd?
Gloria Wayne.
No,
Have Nerd Soup make her name.
it's Martha.
It's Martha.
Oh, what the hell?
Ted is just like looking up at our conversation right now
Literally.
as it flies over his head. Han Solo, man.
It's a mess. I mean, but hey, I mean, look
You
at
can
the
delete
look
that,
at the
right?
bright side. No,
You had to cut that all out, right?
it's still time. We've seen movies that we thought. I mean, Wonder Woman is supposed to be a disjointed mess.
Yeah, but there was one rumor. This is like confirmation
Oh, yeah,
that it's a
true.
disjointed mess.
Yeah.
Like, we know it's a mess at this point. It's a matter of if they can salvage the film. What else is
It's-
going on? Baby Driver's coming out.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Got really good reviews.
Yeah, 100% still. Rotten Tomatoes.
What is that?
Baby Driver.
It's about a baby who can drive a car.
There's also a boss.
It's a sequel to Boss Baby Driver.
The animation?
Yeah.
Animated show? Movie?
Yeah, they're just fucking making these movies quick, man. Rapid fire. Edgar Wright. You ever see Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Edgar Wright.
Really?
Hot Fuzz.
Are you being serious? Like, was Boss Baby a good movie? Just joking around?
I never saw Boss Baby.
No.
I'll have to go watch it.
Boss Baby.
Should we tell them that it's not a cartoon?
Oh yeah, Baby Driver's not a cartoon.
What's Baby Driver?
It's like a serious. It's about like this getaway driver he's got like a ringing in his ears.
You know what got me too? Because Boss Baby, he's the first, the picture for the movie is him in the limo.
Oh man, Boss Baby, Baby Driver. All right, so that really wraps it up for this week. Next week we'll be doing our Game of Thrones. No, not next week. In a couple weeks. In
Maybe
2
3
weeks.
weeks. 2.5 so I can get caught up.
You're not gonna. Get
What are
caught
we?
up.
3 weeks until Game of Thrones?
Breaking news,
Yeah.
Nerd Soup following. I am going to start watching Game of Thrones.
Well,
Click unsubscribe down below.
unsubscribe and leave a dislike. So I'm going on vacation next week, so we won't have any podcast. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, and then in 3 weeks we'll do our Game of Thrones podcast preview.
No videos until then, probably, right?
Yeah, no videos until then.
Oh, and other news, we're going to be doing game reviews.
Yes, we are.
Video game reviews. I will be doing that.
What games? We don't know.
Aaron is not, and neither
What
is.
games? I have no idea. Well, I'll be assisting you.
No, I want it to just be me.
Okay.
Alright.
Well,
I will
make
be
sure you
playing all the
subscribe to
games.
Teddy's channel,
Teddy's just been fired from.
Ted Soup, and be on the lookout for our new channel, Nerd Stew. It's going to be Stu reviewing all the things in.
We should get Stu on the game reviews.
Well, we should get you and Stu to play head to head in Injustice,
It'd be embarrassing.
because you're both awful.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
learned the
ending.
game first.
Yes, you do. Can you download it, man?
Yeah, I should.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up the podcast. For Aaron B and Teddy M, you'll never know who I am.